The following is meant for entertainment and educational purposes. It is not meant to establish a doctor-patient relationship. Please consult your mental health provider for your mental health needs. Hello, welcome to Chez Eric, where we talk about psychiatry and religion with a focus on how to apply it to your life. My name is Dr. Eric. By this time, you should know who I am because this is the last episode of this gigantic series. Or if this is the first time you're seeing me, go to the first one because you're coming in at the end. Okay, so you can ruin the end unless you want to watch things backwards. That's totally up to you. Today we'll be concluding William James's The Varieties of Religious Experience, the whole entire thing, his concluding remarks, with a final discussion about what is the more that we were referring to in the last part of this series. So William James starts by kind of connecting this concept of the more, where the more refers to when you become religious, you gain something. There's a more that you gain. There's more energy, more spiritual excitement, there's more kindness, more all those fruits we're talking about, the more, right? And James points out that it would be bad to just start from a specific religion and say, okay, what's there more? It's better to use less specific terms, and instead he wants to talk about the subconscious self as a concept that we start talking about with the more, okay? And he says that a person's self manifests itself, right, as a series of behaviors, but there's always some part of that individual that isn't yet manifested. And much of the subconscious is insignificant, just random memories or thoughts, but random acts of genius, random acts of a great sort of change and conversion can come from the subconscious, as we discussed in conversion and in mystical experiences. And so the hypothesis that William James proposes is that whatever is on the far side of subconscious that's buried deep, 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 the more is on the closer side where things are slowly getting revealed to us. And if this hypothesis is true, then we can preserve our connection with science to analyze and understand it. And we can also preserve, what the theologians can say, a religious person is being moved by an external power. And whatever is felt as a control of the higher power, feeling like you're getting higher, is really just the experience of uncovering more of the subconscious part of yourself. And that literally you're becoming in union with that subconscious part of yourself. For those who don't have any personal experience of a specific revelation, they might have to stand outside of those revelations. But even if they take a series of intellectual facts, they'll have a tendency to take intellectual facts that they already kind of believe. And, the gift of spiritual excitement can only come when they take those intellectual beliefs and make it a part of themselves. And we can respect that for as long as those intellectual ideas and concepts are tolerant of other people and they don't cause a ruckus to other religions or cause people to act negatively towards each other. So we can respect that. But what William James is trying to point out is this idea that a conscious person is part of a wider self, right? And made up of all these experiences that they're going to have or going to have later or have had in the past or have, right now. And this experience is literally and objectively true as far as it goes. Even if people are going to a mystical state and they're going to another dimension of some sort of existence away from the material world, you can call it a supernatural region or whatever, it is kind of simply saying that we belong to a more intimate space than just the physical world. But when we go into this unseen region in this prayer or in this mystical experience, real work is actually being done. Enough so that it makes real changes in our current world. God is a natural name for what we call with this, unseen space. And when we do business with God, we find that we are influenced by it, and that our deepest understanding of ourselves is seemingly, fulfilled. And therefore, God is real because he produces real effects on who we are and how we behave. The real effects are exerted on our centers of energy, remember that, where we kind of devote our energy more and more and more to God. And that faith has a wider sphere in the sense that not only do people who are religious believe that they themselves are saved, they believe the entire world is in God's hands and that they also can be saved. And so in that dimension where everyone is saved, God's existence is guaranteed of that order, of the order of everyone being saved. And only when a step of faith is taken does religion go from your immediate subjective experiences to, something more. And this is where you're able to bring a real hypothesis to test and test and test. And God is, a God that is just personal in nature is really not that great, because it falls short of a God that allows you to generate a hypothesis of how you can help either improve the world or improve your world that you're living in. And God needs to enter your reality in order for you to justify your confidence and have peace with that relationship and connection you have with God. So this idea of overbelief is part of everyone's religion. Overbelief as defined by your building upon, your philosophy on your feeling, right? You feel something and you build on it with a bunch of philosophy, right? I think that's what he means by overbelief. And that, most of us pretend that the reason why we do things is because we have rational reasons for it. But in actuality, it's the other way around, that we actually have, passions, and that we actually have feelings and emotions, and we rationalize it after the fact. And, religion is more than just facts and passion. It claims new facts as well. And the world in a religious lens is more than just the materialistic world. It has a different expression than the materialistic world. And ultimately, this is the pragmatic view of religion. That people have claimed that divine miracles exist in nature, and they've described heaven, beyond, our current existence, beyond the grave. And, he believes that there's the pragmatic way of talking about religion really is a deeper way of understanding religion. And then, although, it's possible to have this overbelief building upon your feelings and having philosophy, but you can also take a scientific attitude to it so that you can pursue truth instead of any dogmatic idea of what you want to believe. And when you do this, the real world, the physical world, is different. And it's more than just a physical space. It becomes your religious experience. And with that, you can have that connection and communion with this divine entity, experience the more, and live a truly more fulfilling and abundant life. That concludes the William James series. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you haven't liked and subscribed by now, please do like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. I am going to create a final thoughts video. I haven't really wrote the script for that yet, but I'm hoping to kind of bring everything in really fast and bring in my thoughts and bring it all together so that for those who don't want to watch the 100 bajillion part series, you can just watch that one. It was similar to my other one, the Freud series. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Hey, sign up for my weekly newsletter. I send out emails every week on psychiatry and religion. I realize that email is a great way to go deep into these topics. So if you want more content, check out chesericpurl.com and subscribe over there. Thanks.